that's when I noticed that my bladder felt a little full because I was like, if they do this and Henry turns good,
I'm gonna give the show a compliment while also being kind of passive aggressive. And anything else that has gone on this long, has this much influence on culture, merchandising, vernacular.
the only problem with Santino and Andy is this podcast. Well, hello and welcome back. We are back this week, and we are here to talk about the grand finale of the greatest television series of the 21st century,
Perhaps ever.
Stranger Things. We're actually talking about volume 2 and 3, the finale.
I mean, volume 3 is not even a volume. It's just a really long episode.
Yeah.
It's just a
It's
really...
not even the longest episode of the series, which is really interesting, by the way.
It's not? It's 2 hours.
The finale of season 4 was longer.
Really?
Or not? Yep.
Why don't I remember? I forgot so much. Okay, so it was only longer by like 5 minutes, basically.
5-10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't
I don't know
like
why.
3 hours long. But
Yeah.
this is the only problem. I'm Andy Matzke. That's Santino Vitale. We are two Ohio-based indie filmmakers who love making movies and love talking about movies and movie length episode TV shows.
Mm-hmm. It came out in a theater. It might as well be a movie.
Yeah. Neither
It's better than most movies that have come out in the last 10 years. Like, this series as a whole is better than any 5 movies I've seen in the last 10 years, give or take. I'm gonna preface this episode, guys. I wasn't prepared that we were filming. I'm
not. This is how we normally look. Okay,
Yeah.
So I was gonna maybe say this till the end, but we can do this now. We've sort of, for the show, if this is your first time around here, welcome. We're very happy to have you. But we're doing things a little different. This is like the start of a new production year, if you will, for us here at The Only Problem. We're doing a video only, like not video only. Video only, you can hear us.
No sound.
You can hear us. It's a little different, but no, we're releasing video now. It's an idea I had because we've been just doing audio only. And I kind of want to start getting the show out. We've been doing the show. If this is your first time, we've been doing the show for a while. We've been doing it since like August of this past year. And Santino wants to apologize because he didn't know we were doing video, but I did text him like a couple days ago. So you can now so welcome to seeing us. And this is just the way we've been recording. So This is authentic.
It's authentic, no makeup. I'm dog tired. Andy's drinking 7-Up. It's gonna get unhinged.
It's refreshing.
Here. It's the Uncola.
Yeah. What?
You never heard that?
No.
It's the Uncola. I think that was 7-Up. It was either 7-Up or Sprite. It was before your time. I'm gonna keep slurring my words because I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Apparently. I've only been drinking water, but
sometimes water's got a little something extra in it. I don't know.
And Michigan water.
It's that fluoride.
This is Deer Park, so product placement. If you want to pay us.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, we are talking about Stranger Things, season 5. The end of an era. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson, Stranger Things. This is it.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have a lot of ground to cover, but we also don't? ?
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward season. Not a lot happens when you consider there was a lot happening.
So do we just want to jump into it? Do we want to make any like initial remarks? What we're going into this, we were very skeptical. We did an episode talking about volume 1, and I think we very much were like, meh.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like it. Yeah, I was very... Yeah. Also, I think...
Me too.
Still skeptical, honestly. Like, I have mixed feelings.
Yeah. Still working through it. I just so we both know, I kind of meant to say this before, I wrote down our predictions for what the finale would be. So when we get there,
remember them.
We can I wrote some of them down. And then I guess I have notes that I need to remember I have.
Spoiler alert, we were wrong about all of them.
I was right about a couple things.
Oh, okay.
But they're like so minuscule that I don't even want to be like, I was right about this. Because it's like obvious stuff. The show's gonna end.
Yeah.
Was a prediction of mine.
Yeah. At some point, they're gonna roll credits.
By the way, how was Scoogy and Fat Tyler and the boys?
They were good. They were good.
Did you stay at James's place?
No, he was getting fumigated. So we had to go over to Scoochie's mom's house in the basement. Okay. But they have one of those like wood panel. It's very similar. It's on point really for Stranger Things because it had that like wood paneling kind of thing. And we didn't play D&D though.
Okay, what'd you play?
Nothing. We just went to bed.
Oh.
Like there's nothing to do. It's like 1 a.m, so we just went.
That's fair. That's fair.
Watched the ball drop. We went to bed.
That's what you do with the boys, and the boys with the boys. So
driving in cars with the boys.
Stranger Things. Yeah. So season 5, volume 2, opens with episode 6, which is like right after we find out. Spoiler alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Spoiler warning. That Will has powers.
Yes.
That's kind of the fallout from that. Is episode 5. Which episode 5 is kind of... Why are you looking at me like you're confused about episode 5? That's what episode 5
didn't we cover episode 5 last week? Or no?
No.
Or whatever week. Whatever in your area, whatever time.
No. We covered 4.
4. Okay. Okay, so we got 4 more.
That's volume 1. So we have 4 more to talk about, but we're really going to talk about the finale a lot.
Right.
So do we almost... Here's what I think.
We give an abridged version and then focus on the finale.
Yeah. What comes to mind from 5 to 7?
Right.
I'll start.
Yes.
I really liked episode 6 when I watched it because 5 is kind of meh and 7's kind of meh.
I have a hard time remembering what 6 is.
6 is when the wormhole thingy explodes in the Upside Down and like there's like Steve's car gets sucked out.
Yeah.
And like stuff goes down in the Upside Down.
Is that also when Max and Holly are running up that hill and they stop just before the thing to talk for like 50 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
This show
I do remember that
has episode breaks, and this episode starts where the last one should have ended, which is with this whole like fallout in the Upside Down. And I say needless because it's not like you need to hook people's attention week to week to be watching your show. So like, I don't know why we keep doing cliffhangers besides like just keep binging, which you gotta gonna be binging this show though.
Yeah, but it's bingeable because of the cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Like when I watch an episode of Mindhunter, I don't go, I gotta see the next one. I'm like, well, that was cool. I'll watch the next one, but I don't feel compelled to binge it. Stranger Things leads you on. It wants you to keep coming back.
So episode 6 starts with like craziness, and like we kind of get Dustin and Steve back
after they fight. Yeah,
after they fight, which is like the worst Dustin and Steve.
Right. It was the best of Steve's. It was the worst of Steve's. It was a Dustin of compromise.
And I don't know. It just like it kind of resolves a lot. I feel like there's like crazy. It's like just off the rails. And
the yogurt room.
Yeah.
And we could have killed the yogurt room. When everything was melting and Nancy.
Oh yeah, I like the yogurt room. Yeah. That was I think that was a great scene.
They could have killed him, but they didn't. So they're still around. They just.
And I think like the stuff with the Mike and Nancy's mom, Mrs. Wheeler, just showing up is like funny. That's in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
You're just blinking, looking at me.
Yeah.
You're not very interested, but it was like
I'm having a hard time separating the episodes because the last 2 episodes I watched were the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
and everything
before that,
was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it's like
it's just a fun time. It's like just the random stuff. We finally get the like creepy Vecna background stuff. That since we're already this far with like telling Vecna's background, it's like we might as well. We have this creepy scene of like him in the cave, like memory thing. We get that. I like it. I liked episode 6 a good amount. Everything else is like with the exception of a moment in episode 7. But I'll cede the floor now. Tell me what you thought.
Um, so what little I remember of episode 6, I just remember I feel like that one I just constantly kept going, all right, all right, all right, cool. And the yogurt room, we get to that, I'm like, cool, we might finally take out some characters. And then because I've made no bones about this. I've never liked Nancy's character since season 1. She needs to go. She has to go. Apparently, we're getting a book series spinoff about
Or
Nancy,
like
which
a
is
novel. Yeah.
something. It's going to be awful. So I was really looking forward to thinking, well, maybe they're going to actually get rid of him. And then they did the world's strangest breakup,
A
I
breakup,
guess.
like that seems good, except it's not clear what happens at like the end.
Right.
It doesn't land it doesn't stick the landing. So bad that like the Duffer Brothers needed to clarify what happened in that scene.
So what did happen? Because I still
They
don't know.
broke up,
I'm assuming, yeah, okay. I'm assuming they broke up because,
which is hilarious because it's like such a good scene. Kind of weird and kind of like cliche, but
yeah,
I feel like it's of the emotional, like what emotions are left in the show. A lot of it gets squeezed into that scene.
I would disagree. I'd say whatever emotions are left in the show got squeezed into other scenes. That one, for me, it felt like they were really trying. It felt like Interstellar. It felt like they were really trying to get you to cry. Look at these two star-crossed lovers. It's just never going to work, but maybe it will. But are they going to not marry each other? We don't know. Oh, look, everything just stopped melting
Yeah.
suddenly. That's convenient. I guess they're going to live some more. And to be clear to the audience, it's not that I want death. You know, it's just when you have a series that has this many friggin' characters in it, to the point where other characters start taking the back seat and literally becoming wallpaper because other characters have to have the spotlight, you free up some real estate. And like
Yeah.
you kept that's the one thing that the finale did that I both am happy about, but also have a beef about, or a chicken, or some kind of maybe a full cow. I have a cow about the fact that they both did and did not do what they should have. Like, I feel like they should have killed characters off, but I'm also kind of happy that they didn't. But you end up with so many flippant characters. It's like
Yeah.
you kept teasing, well, maybe we're going to kill him. Oh, we don't. Oh, maybe Steve's going to die. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, maybe this person. Oh, no, no. It's like, okay. And then you just start to feel like, well, everybody's got plot armor. And then you just kind of go, well, whatever. We're just going to. Now you're just watching the clock until you get to the end.
Yeah.
That's a beat for sure.
Yeah.
That's like a full taco.
That's the taco's worth of
Taco. Yeah.
thought. Yeah, I mean,
I did not care for the yogurt room, is what I'm getting on. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I think that scene was all right. I mean, it's like as far as the season goes, it's like, okay, that's pretty good. It's kind of I think it's a high watermark because I mean, beyond that, episode 5 is like they do the weird is it's all Will has powers. And
Yeah.
then the end of episode 6, I think, is also Will has powers, which that's kind of cool. When he breaks Vecna's leg, it's kind of neat. It's like, oh,
It's kind of cool. I also took a big issue with, and the things that I'm taking issue with, some of them are nitpicky, some of them aren't. Some of them are just my own opinion. This one particular thing, though, bugs me because it could have been corrected in the writing. And I think that's in episode 6. So, it's episode 6 because Max hasn't gotten her consciousness back into her body yet. And so they're playing running up that hill on a loop
for like
right?
12 minutes.
For like 80 minutes for the whole episode. It's been playing. That tape deck, it's not that long. And there's no rewinding. It's like, it just keeps going. And so the Demodogs are coming in. Doug Demodog or the Dimsdale Demodogs. They're coming in. They're going to kill, right?
Yeah.
And so we get all the characters, Robin and Vicky and Lucas and Max. And they're down in the basement and the Demodogs are coming in, right? And then we get the Deus Ex Machina again. Every episode has a moment like that where something just comes out of left field and miraculously saves the characters. In this case, it's Karen.
Yeah.
And she should basically be unable to walk. Like should be in so much pain she can't even think straight. And yet she somehow makes it down ahead of them, knows where they're gonna be, knows what's going on. Look, I had kidney stone surgery last year, and when I woke up, I didn't even know what century I was in. And I was only under for about 15 minutes. It didn't take that long. So she's almost died, lost a lot of blood, and she's like, the demodogs are here. I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna
And
put
she like
oxygen tanks in the thing.
MacGyver's her way through.
It's dumb. So here's an easy way to fix that. Anyone, anyone except Max, any conscious person in that scene could have done the same thing and put the oxygen tanks in the dryers. And then you guys could have, at the very least, tried to hide in one of the other dryers, because so far as I can tell, their only plan was, we're just going to sit behind this object and hope they don't come over here while
Yeah.
music plays loudly. It was the worst plan of all the dumb decisions I've ever seen characters make in any media. I think it might be the worst plan aside from just standing still while a monster comes at you and go, ah, like it was terrible.
Yeah.
It's such an easy fix. So that one really ticked me off. I was
fair.
hurt. So I'm not a fan of episode 6, because it's like them doing their talking forever and then that, you know.
My big beef is we have the, and maybe it's not even my biggest beef with this episode, but a beef I have with it is, so Hopper and Eleven's sister, character name is just escaping me. They're like in the
She number 6,
church.
number 9, whatever the heck.
She's got a name too. I don't remember that. But they're in this church, and then the like wormhole thing happens, and
which we never capitalize on, by the way, ever again. It's sucking things out of the upside down.
Yeah.
And then we never come back to it.
It's sucking things out, and they're like, and Eleven's got like superpowers. That's fine. But what, in the middle of the wormhole, they're like, a rift, and then they hop in it, and then the scene ends. The wormhole closes off camera, allowing the rest of the episode to, well,
that's my thing. Well, no.
Yeah, like
last we knew it was open and it was sucking things out, and then episodes later they just go into the upside down like nothing's wrong. I'm like,
fine. Yeah, but it's
so
like,
did it close off camera?
So that's the plot hole. But then also they just then show up driving to the squawk, because it felt too good to be true. It was like, look, a way out. It's like, this is going to be bad. They're going to end up in like Dimension X or whatever.
Right.
And nope, they just end up back and fine. And it's like,
everything goes like that in this season.
It's like, huh?
Everything works like that. That's my biggest.
But they show back up. It's like, wait, that really? But then, huh?
Everything is Deus Ex Machina. Everything.
Yeah.
I hate to keep reusing that phrase. I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face. It sounds pretentious as all get out, but it's true. Everything works like that. Their backs are against the wall. Oh, look, a way out. The backs are against the wall. Oh, look, it's Karen. The backs are against the wall. Oh, we grabbed Steve before he fell. The backs are against the wall. Oh, look, the goop just stopped gooping at this moment. It's just constant. And I mean, previous seasons would have like one moment like that, maybe two. And in that case, the Deus Ex Machina was usually 11 shows up and like stops something with her mind, right? I can accept that. That's within the boundaries of the rules of the universe that you created. But in this one, people would just show up. Cars would just appear. Portals would just open. Like stuff would just happen.
Yeah.
And you just go, man, it's convenience. It's plot convenience. The movie, the show.
It really is just like, and that's what this whole season's been.
Yeah. Every episode.
And so when people are like, oh man, it's like,
yeah,
I don't know, because it's all, and yeah. That's
so episode 7.
Episode 7. What do you think? Let me know, because I mean, I've just been going, and we barely covered 5. 5 was shock jock, and there's really not much to say except
Will has power.
Will has power. The fallout of Will having powers.
Yeah,
which I think Will having powers again and breaking Vecna's leg is the end of 5, because it's like powers and then not really powers for a couple episodes.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I just watched these not that long ago. Like literally New Year's Eve or the day after New Year's Eve was when I watched the last 2 episodes. Everything before that is just kind of a soup. It's just kind of all blended together.
Skimmed through every episode. earlier tonight. Like
Really?
took the remote and like watched through it really fast so I could kind of remember. Because before, like I was lost in like trying to remember these episodes. So that's what I did. So
yeah, you know, I don't even remember how episode 7 starts.
I don't remember how it starts either necessarily. Should I just be have my positive thing of episode 7?
Sure.
The moment between Steve and Dustin which ultimately I guess didn't matter, but if I die, like if you die, I die. I was like, nuh-uh, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, I did the same thing. See what I'm telling you? They set it up like, oh, we're gonna kill him, because when that happens, I put my hands in the air and, well, they're gonna die now. You don't do that. If it's the Duffer Brothers are many things, they're many talented things. One thing they are not is subtle with their foreshadowing. They're ham-fisted as all get out. We knew the moment we met Eddie in season 4, the first episode, and he's like, I'm gonna graduate this year. I'm like, he's dead. Because that's a cliche. Every time you got a cop on the force, is like, I'm retiring at the end of the week. Blam, you know he's going to die. Somebody's going to graduate, they're going to die. It's as sure as the black guy's the first one to die in a horror movie, you know they're going to die. Yeah. And so when they said that, I was like, well, here we go. I mean, thankfully, spoiler alert for episode 8, they don't. And I think they did that on purpose to subvert that expectation, but they set it up like they were definitely going to go.
They set it up like they were going to go out like heroes. And I was like, oh, no, no. And I think is 7 when like the teacher gets involved too. That's fun.
They bring him in.
I mean, they add another character.
There's another character.
But
he's not a new character. He's just somebody they brought in for the town. Yeah, they ultimately episode 7 was better. I'm glad that Max wasn't immediately walking, because she's been down.
But she wasn't blind. Someone predicted she'd be blind.
Yeah,
very reasonably predicted that, and
somehow I don't know why she's not.
Yeah, we saw her eyes get squished.
Yeah, they rolled back in her head and bled, and somehow she's just okay. And also, I want to just point out, as happy as we are that Max is back, her character has been useless since day 1. Her character has never affected a single outcome, positively or negatively, since she showed up in season 2. She was a MacGuffin. She was basically just a love interest for season 2. She did nothing in season 3. She was a MacGuffin again in season 4 because, like, oh, we got to not let Max die. And then in season 5, she was a MacGuffin again, where it's just like, is Max going to get out? But she's done nothing. Mike has done things. Yeah. Will has done things. 11 has affected outcomes. All the other characters, Steve has affected outcomes. He's beaten, in the original season, he beat the first Demogorgon with a bat. Like, even Ted Wheeler has, like, beat a Demogorgon with a golf club. Like, they've all affected outcomes. Max has done nothing. Billy did more to affect an outcome, and he was possessed. And he still sacrificed himself to save them at the end of season 3. So Max, to me, just felt like such a useless character. She's not a bad character. She's just useless. They have nothing for her to do.
She shows up and, like, a weird plot point that I don't quite understand. Maybe I'm forgetting great moments of this show. But, like, is her and Will are, like...
Yeah, why are they so friends?
And Will is like, like, hey.
Yeah,
like, I really wanted that to be, like... We cut to Lucas being like, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's what I almost expected. Like, the heck, man? Like,
yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I missed you so bad. And it's like,
they never really spoke.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen the episodes. They've never spoken much.
What was that moment?
Like, I don't think they even saw each other in season 4. Will was with a different group.
Yeah. I fully expected that to be a setup for a joke. For, like, Dustin to be like, he's with your girl, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, because we get that really weird wiener joke from Robin, like, halfway through them trying to figure out the plan with the helicopter. It's like, Steve hears that all the time, but he goes in anyway, don't you? He's like, what the heck, man?
Yeah, it's like a, huh? And then I like how the show is on our side of being like, what? Where was that from?
Which also... for anybody because no one knows Robin's gay except Will and Steve. So everybody else thinks that Robin and Steve are a thing at this point.
Yeah.
Don't make that comment unless you've seen it. That's a weird comment to make. I loved it, but it made no sense. It was just like, we need something funny to happen here. How about this random thing? That works.
Yeah. And like for the comedy of the show, really far. Really far. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa now.
Super broad, very modern sensibility compared to like 80s. Yeah. Like very odd. Weird choice.
Yeah.
So we do that.
Yeah.
Max is useless. What else you got? So I want to hear your notes.
I mean, 7. My notes are all on the finale. This is finale.
Oh, okay.
But 7 also. Do we want to get here now? Episode 7 has the coming out scene that we've all been waiting for. Which, by the way, I checked the math when I was skimming through, and the numbers on the coming out scene is longer than the final boss.
Yeah, that's not the case.
Yeah, I was like, that is not
like it.
They're close. Yeah, they're surprisingly close scenes. I think the yogurt room scene might be close to the final boss because that's a longer scene.
Yeah. So I think what we're really dealing with here,
but it's just a weird scene.
It's what I sent you. It's literally like,
yeah. Santino sent me a meme that in the middle of me's talking, which is the Council of Elrond. That's, Middle Earth is in great danger, and we needed to destroy the ring, and then it's Will photoshopped onto Frodo saying, "I don't like girls," and Elrond looking confused.
Yeah, that's literally what you did.
That is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's also, I sent you did I send you the like Will for some reason on Stranger Things video where he's like, "Guys, I'm gay," and they're like, "Yeah, we know." Anyways,
yeah.
It's like that's kind of what it's been, and like
it's the worst kept secret in Hawkins.
How do I want to? I think I take like a center right view on this scene. I don't know any of the like consensus on this. I don't know if there are people out there that were like, that was awesome. But I just think it was weird. Like it's not because this is like funny to say, just to, explain our position. It's not like that there's a scene with a gay character that I'm like, because you praise the scene with when
Robin comes out to Steve in season 3. That's an immaculate piece of I'm going to say it. I'm not even saying this facetiously. No sarcasm at all. It's an immaculate piece of cinema. It's a very well done scene, but it earned it, and it came at a strategically perfectly paced point in the story. This kind of comes at a weird point near the end of an episode, near the end of a series. And I get it. It's before the big fight. And the Duffer's reasoning is, that way Vecna can't like hold anything over his head. And okay, that's fine. But we've been building up to it all season.
Yeah.
Been building up to his coming out since like season 3. And we've known that he doesn't like girls since season 3. For sure. If not before. Because his character's always kind of been like that. So it just, whereas with Robin's character, we kept leading you in a different direction, going, oh, it's going to be Robin and Steve. And then we're like, no, we're going to pull the rug out for you, under you and give you like this other character trait. That was interesting. But with Will, it felt like there was this long, drawn out, ticking time bomb on a thing we already knew.
And it's also like, up until this point, the show hasn't been, oh, everyone in Hawkins hates gay people. Do you know what I mean? And here's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's little to no stakes to that scene, like the show acts like there is for some reason. Like, and that's even in the, like, I won't look up the one video. Credit to where credit's due. You know who you are, who made that video. Like, that funny video of, like, Will being like, this was before the episode came out, like, I'm gay, and his friends being like, yeah, we know, man, like, we're your friends, that's okay.
Right.
For, like, a little bit, and then takes it in a comedic direction. But, like, that's kind of how, like, how wouldn't that scene go this way?
They're all your friends and your family.
Yeah, if Lucas was, like, his one character trait was how much he hates the gays, and how, like, I mean, we get it's the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
but also to like it gets more and more anachronistically the 80s as the show goes on, especially the last 2 seasons. It's kind of like air quotes the 80s ever since the Russians were under the mall. So
Right.
like it's not like there's any real tension in the scene to work with.
No.
It's
You know,
just
the only tension is like his crush on Mike, and you're kind of like, well, this could be awkward. But the thing is, he's even aware that that's not going
and
to
that's
go
a
anywhere.
line in that's a line in it. It's
Right.
like I know it's not going to go anywhere. And I'd
So
say
then why are we even mentioning it?
to be clear, like I even kind of think the moment in episode 4 where it's like right before Will has powers that we have that like cut to like home video of him and Mike is
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
neat. Like that's a cool idea. So this is not like, oh, they're making Stranger Things gay.
No.
This is not my like
no.
it's not my complaint, but it's like why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Also, and allow me to like I've set this up so well to then do this. You're telling me your whole plot idea is that the villain found the most cowardly scaredy cat person in Hawkins, and that's this gay kid is like, I don't know what we're doing here. Like, and he knew he could exploit him
right
because he's gay, like, and that's what he can hold over him. Like, I don't.
It's a little odd.
It gets murky in my head of like trying to follow what they're doing because it's like I don't know. Yeah. So
and you made a good point with the whole idea about the stakes, and that's I think that if you wanted the trifecta of all the things that are wrong with that scene, number one, it's poorly paced and it comes at a bad time in the series. Number two, it's building up to a thing we all already knew, so it's not a surprise to anyone except the characters around him. And number three is it's basically no stakes. There's not a single character, as you said, that's been set up to hate gays or be bigoted in any way, or even not like Will. It's literally a room full of supporters right before you're all probably going to go off and die. I couldn't think of a more supportive group. Like, even if they weren't okay with it, the fact that we're all going to go into a wormhole that might collapse all of our worlds. Because remember, Dustin did say in episode 6 that if you shoot it and that thing collapses, both worlds go and the whole universe. And then somehow we reverse course on that. I don't know if he like read more of the doctor's notes and figured it out, or if we just kind of decided, it's worth a shot. Let's just put C4 around it and blow it up and hope it doesn't kill our world too, which, by the way, our dimension's portal is still open when we set that charge off. So how are we, even if it doesn't destroy the universe, how are we sure it isn't just going to start sucking things through this hole forever? And we all have to move out of the state. Like, who knows how big this could be? Point is, you're all about to probably go off and die. Even if you were like, hate me, the gays. You'd just be like, great story, man. We got to go. Like, you wouldn't even, you know what I mean? It wouldn't.
It does come, and the pacings, because it is like we're about to go off and do this. We're all getting suited up in our outsiders outfits.
Stop the presses. Everybody wait.
Will's got to tell the secret. And it's everybody. And that's what makes it almost comedic is there's like
everyone.
At least 4 or 5 characters who don't say a word in that scene.
There are strangers there. Vicky's there. She doesn't know you. She's not even in on the fight. She's just this girl Robin happens to be seeing who they brought with her because otherwise she'd be taken by the military because demodogs. Like, there are strangers here. There's like your mailman is here, and there's Murray. Yeah. Murray is there.
Murray's in that scene, and I kept waiting for a funny line from Murray, and I don't think we got any. Like, between Murray and Hopper being like,
dude, like, of all the characters to not be okay with it or to have some weird take would be Murray.
Yeah.
So it just, you're right. And it feels comedic. So that's the trifecta of stupid of why this scene doesn't work. It's not that he's gay. It's that there's no stakes and we already knew it and it came at a bad time. And everyone in town is there. You know what? Bring everybody.
Yeah.
All the military. Where's Linda Hamilton? Let's tell everybody we possibly can.
That's what turns her character around. We need to start our revision.
You had a gay on your side.
Yeah, I'm just like,
you know what? Everybody stop. We got to go home. We got to close the portal.
Yeah, you have a, oh no. I don't even want to be around here anymore. And she leaves. That's what happens off screen in the 18 months is she finds out Will's gay,
And that's why the
and so
military
they
picks
leave.
up and goes. And they don't even arrest anybody. It's because Will's gay.
There's like, oh, we don't even want to. Ew.
Mm-hmm. You
Because the
see,
military is the ultimate villain in this show. They
they
never
are.
do anything right. They never do anything that really makes sense.
No,
And so they're just like, oh, there's a gay here. Because it's the 80s, right? Just
can't
to
be
be
new
clear,
that.
it's the 80s. It's
Mm.
the military. It's the Reagan years, question mark. And they're like, we can't. I'm sorry. We'd lose funding. They found out.
We'd lose funding if we found out there that you had a gay with you. And that's I think we're all on the same page. And most of the things that I found online where people were complaining about is exactly what we're talking about. Because again, not to beat a dead horse on this, but if you go back to the Robin coming out scene in season 3, the stakes are incredibly high. It's one-on-one, it's super intimate. Think about it. In Will's case, he's telling an entire room, which is kind of weird and awkward, I'll give you that, but it's mostly friends and family who already know him. You're telling an entire room of people who are about to go off to war, literally. So they're probably, even if they register it, they're not going to care because this doesn't matter to what we're doing. And he even knows that Mike isn't going to care, isn't going to reciprocate. Like, if anything, you're just going to kind of make it awkward. So contrast that with Robin. It's Robin and Steve.
And that scene was out of nowhere, right? Like, I mean, not the scene, but her saying I'm gay is like
Yeah,
pretty
it
much
was
out
kind
of
of out of
nowhere.
nowhere. Right. We had very little lead up to it. And Steve and her have been getting closer, and they've literally just been through hell together, and they just threw up all the truth serum and popcorn and everything they ate. And so now it's this really vulnerable moment. It's in the most vulnerable place you can be. And you're hiding out, and it's this weird kind of in between, and you're talking to each other, and Steve literally just tells you, hey, I really like you. We should get together. And so now think about the stakes. It's the 80s. Okay, sure. So this isn't always accepted. Number two, this guy just told you, a guy that you actually are friends with, who you don't want to lose as a friend, who you've just been through some really tough stuff with. He just told you, I like you and like to go out. And now you're like, not only am I going to have to like disappoint him and maybe even kind of break his heart. I don't know how much he likes me, but I also now risk losing a friend who literally has saved my life now. And none of this, and you can see all those emotions on her face. You can see it all, and it's great. And then you jump over to Will's scene, and it's like, hey, everybody, I don't like girls. They were like, oh.
Yeah.
One compliment I can give to that scene, so it's not entirely negative. I really did like, there's way too much sniveling and crying, and it took way too long. It was like 50 minutes. But I did like the line that they included where Will basically kind of diffuses the whole crush. Because when he brings up and there's someone I have a crush on, he kind of looks at Will, and I'm like, oh boy, don't do this for my sake, like for the audience's sake. This is cringe inducing, right? But then he diffuses it, and I thought it was a very mature thing of the character, and it was cool of the writers to put in and be like, but I know that's not really even about this person. It's about me. I knew it was never gonna be, but it was this other thing. I thought that was cool. It's a little on the nose, but I thought it was cool. I thought that was a fun inclusion to kind of flesh out the character a bit. But other than that, it kind of comes at a really dumb time and it takes too long.
Yeah.
Like he could have literally just written, guys, I'm gay, signed Will, and just posted it on that corkboard and been like, walked outside and been like, hey guys, there's a thing on the corkboard you all need to see before we go. I'm going to wait out here for you. And then everybody just comes out and goes, huh? And he's like, yep. And then they could be like, so you want to go blow up the world? And he's like, all right. He could have done that.
Yeah.
It would accomplish the same thing. Now everyone knows Infectant can't hold it over you. So that's episode 7. So now we dig into the big chunk.
And here we are.
The final countdown.
Series finale.
Oh boy.
Stranger Things.
Dun dun dun. Did that sound like anything at all?
It sounded like you going dun dun dun. That sounded weirder.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chew on the. I think I did that on the last episode. I'm just gonna keep chewing on my mic.
Okay.
Not on Mike, on my mic. My Michelle, my Obama. No, nothing. We're not going down that road. My mic, my wife. Anyway.
Here we come. Here we come.
Here we come. Identify the kids.
expectations going into this series finale, I'll admit, were like very low.
Yes.
Even with episode 7, we were very skeptical on our last episode of the show about it being any good. And
Mhm.
we said the phrase which it described it very well was morbid curiosity. I think we both
Mhm.
had.
Yes.
We made some predictions. We'll get to those at maybe the end if I even remember. Um, and then we got it, and I liked 6. I felt like episode 7 was just more build up for episode 8.
Yep.
And we got into episode 8, and I'll start with this. We have the scene with like Linda Hamilton's character, and she says the line because they're talking about like, you're just telling me this gate opened up on its own. It must have been a malfunction. Linda Hamilton says, "What if it was a malfunction?" And I went, "Oh no." She's talking about like they're like putting together that like they're up in the tower, but there's a line that's like, "What if it was a malfunction?"
Mm.
And I was like, "This is it. It's gonna be
Mm.
bad. This is gonna be so bad." And luckily, spoiler alert, it wasn't all that bad. But I was really about to be like, "This is gonna be a wrap."
Yeah.
Because oh no, but they enter the upside down. I don't even know. Hey, you know what? You take the reins on this. I like it when you lead because I don't even know. I don't even know.
So, I mean, you're correct. Episode 8, we get into it. Um, I'm gonna lead with the negative because it's what I do. So yeah, there's still some pretty clunky lines. We get into the upside down really easily.
Oh yeah,
They just drive right in. Like we showed in the first episode that the military has to do like controlled burns with flamethrowers to open the gate.
that didn't happen this time.
And we just
right.
drove in. No big deal, apparently. I guess they're just wasting taxpayer dollars, which is what they do, but like at least whatever. So they just drive in. And my expectation, while low for the season finale, my expectation was, and I saw the internet kind of echoed the sentiment. I thought, okay, we're going to go in the upside down. We're going to start this fight. And when I saw them go into the upside down, and then I saw the military go into the upside down, I thought, oh, crap. This is going to be a cluster. This is going to be a disaster because they're going in. And for whatever reason, they have this really dumb plan, which is that, there's my cat. They have this really dumb plan, which is that, um, Steve's plan, we're gonna crawl up this tower and we're gonna get into the thing as the planet is, or the other world or whatever the heck it is coming down. 11 will stop it in times that we're not squished like bugs, and then we're gonna climb up into the other world. Okay, that's fine. That's not really like, hey, whatever. Everything else has been crazy. That's not really my issue. My issue is why did 11? Why was her plan that she, Hopper, her sister, and Murray were gonna stay back at the Hawkins lab? And she was going to go in the bath and access Vecna through his mind instead of just going with the others and climbing up into the world. Or rather, she eventually just jumped. We're ahead a
Off
little bit.
screen.
But she eventually just jumped into the other world like an anime character. So like, why didn't you just do that and just go beat up Vecna on his own turf instead of trying to get him through his mind? Because now you're vulnerable in this bath, and Hopper and your sister have to guard you from what I assumed was going to be an onslaught from both the military, every Demogorgon in the Upside Down, the demo bats that we haven't seen since season 4, and all the demo dogs. Like, I figured we were going to pull out all the stops, you were going to get surrounded, it was going to be nuts, right? And instead, we go in there, and the Upside Down's pretty much just void of all life at this point. The military only sends in like 6 guys, and we kind of get over that pretty quickly.
Well, like,
I don't know what we were doing.
My second note is kind of forgot the exposition dump, kind of confused, which is like, I was sitting there and I was like, wait, what's the plan again? Because why is 11 going in the bath? And
I don't know.
Wait, why is Max getting tapped in?
Yeah, they never really explained that.
Also, her sister has the she can make people hallucinate thing, and she doesn't do any of that.
Until they get into Henry's mind and then make him hallucinate an empty room where the kids are. Which, by the way, the kids are on the other side of that curtain, effectively. but they're being really loud. They're like, wait, he can't see us? And they're like, yeah, so shut up. And he's like, I'm like, dude, how do you not? He can hear you. He can't see
Yeah.
you. I don't know. That's jumping ahead, but still, like, a lot of really weird, convoluted plans happen.
There's a really bad shot of Hopper from the opposite side of the bathtub or the tub in the Hawkins lab. Do you remember this? Like 11 gets in the tub and there's a reverse shot of Hopper that looks like it's from like 2006. It just is like very bad, like warp effect.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, oh, that was another moment where I was like, oh.
You can tell
Budget started to run.
went.
Yeah. Budget started to run out here.
Like, frankly, I haven't seen this many dodgy composites in a while, like since the last Marvel movie, probably. But like in general in Hollywood, I want to be fair. Composites are hard. Filmmaking is hard, but the professionals who do them, when given enough time and money, can make it look good. And you can tell, your average blockbuster feature has about 1,500 to 2,000 effects shots in it, and that's for a 2-hour movie. This was, 10 or 11 hours worth of content?
Yeah.
So just multiply 2,000 effect shots across about 8 episodes. Well, multiply it across 7 because not every episode's an effect shot. So that's a lot of effect shots. No wonder you're running into some kind of janky looking stuff because that's just a crap ton of work. So I can't even fault them for that. That's just sheer numbers. But yeah, so my expectation was that there was going to be, I was excited for it. I thought, oh, cool. Like, I don't know how we're going to get out of this, but there's going to be Demodogs and Demogorgons and Demobats and the military. And I thought, well, the military is going to kind of take care of the Demogorgons and some of that threat, and some of the threat is going to kind of take care of the military. So as long as Hopper and 11 of them kind of stay out of the way, it might just the fight will kind of happen around them a bit, which would have been interesting, inexpensive. And none of that happened.
And instead, there's not like a single Demogorgon, Demodog, nothing.
We never see anything. It's like they're just gone.
Yeah.
Which like they're
in all the exposition dumps.
Right.
That's not explained.
Not a single thing. Like there was
Facepalm.
There were 12 Demogorgons minimum that came out and slaughtered the military and took the kids because there were 12 kids taken. So, or 11, I guess, because Holly was already in there. But the point is, there was like a dozen Demogorgons. Where'd they go? Are they not around?
Yeah, I don't.
Because the next thing that comes out is 3 Demodogs. We didn't kill all the Demogorgons. Will only kills 3.
Yeah.
There's still got to be like 9 somewhere. So where are they? It's just crazy. So that was a letdown. And I thought for a second, like, because we never got the explanation as to why the military's down the hole. We never got the explanation as to why they're down there. They're down the hole. Like, it would have, again, and like you said, in all the exposition dumps, we could have had a couple throwaway lines, something like they had that disruptor ray or whatever. Well, maybe that also works on just anything upside down related, right? And if that's the case, maybe it repels Demodorgs.
The Demodorgans.
The Demodorgans. Maybe that repels them, right?
Darn Demodorgans.
Demodorgans. Demodorgs. So maybe that's what happened, right? And then that could have been an interesting problem, because now it's like, okay, the military's using it to keep back this onslaught, this army of Demogorgons, but it's also disabling 11's powers. And so in order for, okay, well then maybe the military gets taken out by Jim and all them, but now, well, you got to keep the Demogorgons at bay, but Elle needs to do her mind powers, so what are you going to do? Like, there's some interesting things you could do. They didn't do any of those. Like, I think, did I send you the meme where it was like a highway with an off-ramp? Yeah, and it was like on one side, it's like, oh, massive fight with Demodogs and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then over here, it's just like Arizona with a spider, and it's just like, we're just going to go there. There's just nothing else happening.
Which, if that's even supposedly where like all that stuff is from.
Yeah,
so like
from Dimension X. Where is it?
What happened?
Also, for the last 4 seasons, it's been, he likes it cold. Remember? Will needed to be in an ice bath, and Billy was in an ice bath, and when they put Billy in a sauna, the particles freaked out. And you can shoot at a Demodorg. I'm just going to keep saying that, apparently. You can shoot at a Demodorg as much as you want but you set them on fire. That's like the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
It
They're
looks
from a
hot. It's like all sand and overcast
deserts can be
sun.
cold.
You
Deserts can be
don't see
cold.
anyone's breath, and you don't see anyone's breath in the Upside Down in any season ever. So where's this cold they speak of?
Where is this cold you speak of?
It's like, where? How? What happened? Is it global warming? Did climate change happen to Gen
That's
X?
what really happened.
Or not Gen X. Well, we'll call it Gen X. Yeah. Did it happen to Dimension X? And so all the
Gen
Demogorgons-
Xers away.
yeah, all the Demogorgs just can't do it anymore. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what happened there.
it's bad. Look, yeah, I don't know where the demo. That's the crazy thing is like I don't know where the Demogorgons went. There is some tension with the military because they take the sister, and then
We didn't
we're
care
jumping
about
ahead.
her.
We're jumping.
We're not really jumping ahead. We're pretty much there.
I have a note. I have a note from a little earlier, which is I stand by what I said about Finn Wolfhard, that like he's the only character who can, or actor rather, he's a real person who's been holding down the fort with silly dialogue.
Yeah, he's been getting it done.
That scene where they're going up on the tower with him and Will, he had silly dialogue and he held it down. He's the one who can handle it, and that's not a backhanded compliment. I'm being for real. I will say though, are we still friends? Friends? No, that was a jump scare. Before he said best friends, I was like, what? And then he said best friends. I went,
that wasn't a jump scare to me. I knew where he was.
I'm dumb. I'm dumb. So
they would never.
Oh, this is stupid. I was not far enough into the episode to believe anything would be handled well. So I was like, sure, this is how we're doing it. This is like,
it would have kind of, honestly, it would have been really funny if he was
friend,
like, no, we're
no.
not friends. And then just walked away. That would have been great.
Are we still friends? What? No, you're gay.
We're not friends. Yeah, it just kept climbing. I'm like, nah, dog. I don't play that. And then he just walks away.
I don't play like that. Mike, what are you talking?
I'm not your dude. I don't swing that way, Junior. Deep cut callback to 2009 Craig Ferguson show. Yeah, that was something.
We've already commented on Steve falling off.
I had a full bladder and I was ready to pee on everything that moved. I was ready to just destroy all of existence with just pee. I was ready. When I saw him fall, and everybody's like, no! And then everyone's black.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
I almost felt the poop. I almost felt the poop in my pants.
Yes. I was so ready to rampage. I yelled at the TV. I knew it. I started screaming at the TV. I knew it. And then like a few seconds later, Jonathan catches him, which is impossible because he was far past that point. But whatever, Jonathan catches him, movie magic. Hey, he's okay. And thank God for that, by the way. Like, you could have killed any character in this thing and I wouldn't have cared. But I'm telling you, if you would have taken out Steve or Robin, but especially Steve, I would have lost my mind. And so would the internet. I think, kudos to the Duffers. I think they're well aware of their fandom that if they would have killed Steve, I wouldn't have been the only one peeing on Netflix. Their entire house would have been flooded in urine.
It would have been
across America. There would have been a tidal wave of just yellow foaming liquid rushing toward their house through downtown LA.
Yeah. The people of LA would there'd be a lull in the water supply, and then it would just be a wave of pee.
Lull in the water supply. Like we absorb water from the environment.
Yeah.
Pee it out.
Yeah, like a group of LA, California would have an influx of very well hydrated tourists who just pee.
Yes. They just pee. We just suck up a bunch of water like a sponge and then just let it out.
Yeah.
Fastest kidneys in the West.
Yeah. Kidneys of the US unite, and
I think the Duffers are well aware how beloved that character is. The majority, like if you search Stranger Things memes, 50% or more are just how much everybody loves Steve. So if they would have killed him, like I don't even think this is a controversial opinion. I'm pretty sure everyone loves him more than most of the characters, and they definitely love him more than 11. So if he was gone, they would have revolted. Nobody would watch.
Unless
And
he went out with the ultimate hero's death.
I don't
Like, if they would have killed him that way. I
still
think if
wouldn't be worth it.
you would have killed, and we're getting a little ahead of ourselves with hypotheticals here, but if you would have killed him and Dustin in a like you die, I die, guns a blazing to save everybody moment, there would have been at least one tear going down my cheek. Because I would have been like, oh, power of friendship. They did it.
Nope. I would have filled a bag with excrement for a year, and then like a massive black garbage bag, and then just hella dumped it like from a helicopter and just dumped it on Netflix. I would have just flaming plastic garbage bag full of a year's worth of poop, just full on. There's no good that would have come of that. I don't care about a hero's death. They just keep him alive. That's just all you got to do. Just don't kill him. And they did that. They didn't kill him, and so we're good. So good. That's good.
Yeah.
We get into I'm just gonna call it Gen X. We get into Generation X, Dimension X. And yeah, there's no Demogorgons, there's no dogs, there's no bats. Those bats I think were only there for season 4. We never saw them before or after.
Yeah.
And they were cool, but we never saw them again. And then it was really funny how they seemed to just be taking their sweet time heading toward where Vecna was.
Yep.
We were just kind of walking. And it seemed like it took
nice
forever to get there. And I had been looking suspiciously at that crooked tree thing. And when it twitched, I was like, I know what this is going to be. And then that was really cool, by the way. It turns into the spider.
We'll get to the spider thing in a second. Before that happens, Will taps into the hive mind and talks to Vecna, talks to Henry in the cave.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I wrote down in my notes, because it's like the line is, you must resist it. I said, we're not doing Henry is good, right? I don't know why I live tweeted this moment the way I did. And I said, in all caps, you can see it right here. No, because I thought we were doing it.
Right.
I thought we were doing it. And then Henry starts talking and he's like, but it needs me and I need it. And I wrote yes, ? And then I wrote yes.
Yeah.
Because I thought that moment was great, because I thought they were going to do the worst. And this isn't how you construct a good moment in your movie or television show.
Right.
But I thought they were going to do the worst thing they could have done. Like that's when I noticed that my bladder felt a little full, because I was like, if they do this and Henry turns good, you had mentioned walking out of the room, watching a previous episode, like I would have done it. I think I would have like needed a lap. I would have needed to take a deep breath and been like, okay, then let's continue. But instead, we kind of finally have the like, will you like join me on the dark side? Except it's the opposite. So it's like turn good.
Yeah.
And no. Like instead of,
I thought that was well handled.
Luke joined me. We always want moments like, there's a bit of audience interaction there. We got the villain choosing to be the villain for villainous reasons. And it's in an era of kind of iffy villains. That was good. I really like that. And then we get this like giant crab spider monster, which when I saw that, I went, oh no, Santino's going to hate this. Because I know you're not a big giant creature fan.
No.
I was like, here we are. Woo!
Yeah.
But
here's what I hate about giant creatures. They're too big and you can't kill them.
Yeah.
And you know what you definitely can't do? You can't go, let's get it over to those cliffs about a half mile away that are about a quarter of a mile tall. And let's get up on those. And then we'll throw water balloons full of lighter fluid at it and light it on fire in little spots and see what that does. And then 12 seconds later, you're on top of those cliffs when it took you the entire episode to walk to where it was, which is not from where the cliffs were. And now you basically teleport to the top of the cliffs. And here's my thing about this. when the fight kind of officially starts is when 11 kind of just shows up in the dimension. And she throws like a boulder at it because it's like gonna get him, and then all of a sudden, blam, it's like sucker punch from the side, and you're like, oh, that's right. She can throw like big stuff. And I thought, well, this now they might stand a chance. Like between all of them and her like doing stuff to it, we might know. She goes inside it, rips it open with her mind, and just sails into it.
Which, by the way, that's like supposed to be the mind flare.
Yeah, that's the mind flare.
That's the mind flare.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like a weird, creepy particle guy. And it's not a power up to become a giant monster when you're a creepy particle guy, right? In my mind, it's like you downgrade it to giant monster
physical body.
from like interdimensional space demon to creature.
Well, not even giant monster, more like giant walking mobile home. Because inside, under where his heart is where all the kids is and where all the other stuff is. And Vecna's just doing his yoga routine in there, hooked in. So 11 just kind of pieces out and goes inside. And then everybody else is like, well, I guess we're just going to shoot at it with bullets that would be basically the equivalent of nothing if you were shooting me. And somehow that angers it. And somehow through a couple flamethrowers and some water balloons full of lighter fluid, and her beating up Vecna. Like, I get that, like, it's a symbiotic relationship, but, like, between those two things, they take it down in about 2 minutes. And Steve and Dustin poking it in its egg sacs, a couple times was really stupid, because where do you think it's going to go if it dies? It's going to fall on you. And then it falls, and they just go, whoop, like that, as if it's not a mile wide. Again, plot armor at this point. It doesn't really matter. It took longer to chop Vecna's head off than it did to kill the 100-foot monster.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's where we're at with it. Like, you can shoot a Demogorgon with a machine gun. It doesn't sustain any damage. You shoot the Mind Flayer, the originator of all that is evil in this world, with a machine gun, and it's like, oh no, stop it. And then it dies.
Yeah.
Like, that entire thing, like, when I think I texted you.
Yeah, I'm actually wildly scrolling to see if I can find your text message to me.
I think it was like, that was easy.
Yeah.
And we still have an hour to go. That can't be it. Because I thought, okay, well, Vecna's going to come back. Because, villains, it's always a double tap. Even a slasher that's not supernatural still has to be thrown down some stairs, pushed out a window, shot 5 times, set on fire, and then shot some more, and then eventually beheaded. And they still come back for the sequels.
So they killed Vecna and the Mind Flayer, and we still have an hour left. Just saying. I'm sure it can't be that easy. And I said, I thought the exact same thing. And then in a separate text message, I sent ... And you said, yeah, we'll see.
And I think the next day, I just said, I guess it was that easy.
Yeah.
I was baffled.
Yeah. And I wrote in my live tweet note, wait, was it that easy? Are we going to do like a lot of closure? I'm confused. Okay, wait, no. Wait back to the upside down. Because it was like, huh? Because, I mean, in between this, we have that moment with Hopper and Vecna, which makes you think Hopper shoots 11, which was like,
cool.
It was like, what? And then it wasn't a thing. So it just took her out of the weird psychic thing that we were doing, which that's way earlier. So forgive me.
Yeah.
But that almost was cool. But yeah, then and it was that easy. And then Nancy comes in. This is for my boy. And just chomp.
No, you mean
chomp. Not Nancy.
Joyce.
I said the wrong name. Joyce. Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah.
They're both insufferable. But one's way twitchier than the other. Chopping for like another 5 minutes.
Yeah, chomp.
However, I want to get all the negativity out now before we launch into the wrap up. So what other wads of poo do you want to sling at this thing before we get to the positives? Because there's a thing that this season does, and I know you're aware of it, and we're going to cover it here, which kind of undoes a lot of the BS that it's done if you're not paying attention. And that's going to be a really interesting conversation. So,
I mean, do we want to get out, we want to get out everything? We want to get it all out?
Yeah, let's get out all the negativities
So,
now. It's only going to go up from here. It's only going to be
because I
positive from here.
okay, if we're ending with the negativity,
Yeah.
I think the whole Elle sacrificing herself thing, it was like whatever, or not sacrificing herself, but like going back into the upside down, and that whole moment where it was like, no, Elle, was like, okay, what are we doing?
We're
Because
doing the only thing that makes sense this entire season. Honestly.
yeah,
Like,
like
get rid of L and this all ends.
yeah, and it's just like okay, and like I'm not heartless, but it
Mm-hmm.
was like, come on, let's, because it was also such a like, wait, what? But at the same time, I feel like the show's already set up what it then reveals later, which is we have a person who can make things look like they're happening.
And that person died.
Died,
That person really died. We'll get into that, I guess.
but like, I don't know. That like the whole moment was like, what are we doing? Because I think you like set up like, okay, happy ending,
Mm.
and then not happy ending, but then don't resolve the government stuff at all.
Mm.
And it didn't exactly do it for me. It was like, okay, Elle died, which by the way,
Mm-hmm.
correct, Elle died quotes, which I think I even had air quote or said it in italics. Like Elle died was a correct prediction of mine.
Mm-hmm.
But also that's the prediction that I didn't feel like was a crazy pull. Like,
No, it's the only thing that makes sense.
yeah,
It's what we've been building to. It's literally what the other girl with powers says. Like, as soon as she shows up, she's like, we should have a suicide pact. Like that. I haven't seen you since season 2, but we should kill ourselves. Like
yeah.
that's her pitch. Let's kill
And
Henry and
so
then kill ourselves.
yeah, that, and I kind of was like, I guess I get it, but
Mhm.
we undid this in a very sweet moment earlier in the episode where Hopper was like, don't kill yourself. Like causing more pain isn't going to help. And I was like, oh, this is actually good. He talked him out of it. He talked her out of it with like a really good point. And it's
Mhm.
like causing more pain isn't going to help move forward. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, except it's a terrible point because it's never going to stop the constant manhunt, and this is just going to keep going on. So, as much as Hopper is correct on an emotional level, the only thing that makes sense is she goes down with the ship. So when she does, and she does, then that's it. That's the end. We're good.
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
I think I was fine with like the plot point of
Mhm.
it happening. It was more like the moment in the show that I kind of was like, we don't need to do slow-mo.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
and
we
then
do.
like everyone's reaction shot.
Mhm. Here we do, but here's the problem. I felt like by that point, everyone was emotionally tapped out. We're getting reaction shots of people not reacting.
Yeah,
It's Hopper's daughter, and Hopper's just going, he's just
yeah,
looking. Mike, I swear, I was paying really close attention to the way they covered him and her and like their crying and their kiss and all that. Because I'm pretty darn sure we hit the ceiling of what Finn Wolfhard could do emotionally, and we just kind of cut around it. Because if you pay attention to him, he never actually sheds a tear. He almost never looks sad. You hear him cry, but you don't really see it. And when she actually disappears, he just looks befuddled.
yeah, yeah,
All the other characters just look confused. The army just kind of stands there instead of trying to go get her, which is weird. One of the army guys next to Hopper is kind of crying, and I don't know why. I'm dead serious.
yeah.
Like,
Wow.
so emotionally, that moment would have been great. And it's in the middle of Purple Rain, which would have been amazing. But I felt like no one, I don't know if they didn't get any better coverage. I don't know if everyone was just topped out emotionally at that point or what
Yeah,
it
I don't
is,
know.
but it didn't land.
It doesn't play right.
No.
Is kind of what I'm saying, I think.
Right. No,
Like
I agree with
it
that.
didn't hit me.
It
It
doesn't.
didn't it didn't hit. I accept the plot point. And I think, but even though I think it's kind of dumb, I'll accept it, but it also didn't hit at all. So that's
I think part of what might made it might have made it hit a little better is, and this is why, of course, there's the theory that she didn't really die, because she seems to kind of teleport to the portal, because we see her in the back of the truck when the military rolls the thing open and starts taking everybody out forcefully. She's the third behind Mike to almost exit. And then we cut away from that, and the very next thing we see is she's just gone. And then she's standing over there, right? So this is the only leg that Mike's theory or fan theories or whoever's theory you want to say, it's the only leg that this theory has to stand on, is the fact that she kind of teleports. Like, how did she get through the military to get over there, right? Because unless I'm missing something, everybody's going, well, she couldn't have closed the gate because the interrupter rays were going. I didn't think she closed the gate.
Yeah,
The gate collapsed
yeah.
on itself because the universe collapsed on itself. So the interrupter things didn't matter. Her mentally bringing Mike into her thing would be the only thing that makes sense that couldn't happen during the interrupter rays. But her running across the street and hiding in a storefront, which is what they theorize, right, in the flashback, that's not out of range of the interrupters either. So that doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, the storefront. This is, I mean, I'm just saying.
Let me know.
The storefront is part of the tunnels. So she goes to the storefront and then goes through the tunnels.
Sure, but she immediately starts telepathically communicating with Mike. Like, the minute he sees her, he takes like 3 steps and then he's in her mind. There's no way she was doing that from the tunnels. There's just no way. That is even dumber teleportation than the original teleportation. So, as far as I'm concerned, it seems like there's some bad coverage, and then she did sacrifice herself. That makes more sense to me, because we saw Callie.
That's it. Yeah.
We saw her die. So
but here's the thing, and this is what I kind of hate.
Mm-hmm.
Strong word. And I know are we getting through the negativity? Am I still allowed to be negative?
Yeah, we're
like, she having a character that does that undermines any single thing you see.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the idea would be, we see her die, but she's projecting that. Because and this is what I thought was dumb, it's very clearly the guy has the gun,
mm-hmm.
and explosion happens and his gun goes up and he shoots. Is like as dramatically obvious as they could make it, in my mind, without it being cartoonish, without it being like him shooting the ceiling. It was like helicopter explodes. So because he's like right here on her head, he goes back, shoots.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to be like going anywhere near her stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So then but then she is wounded in the upside down with the theory.
Right. She's wounded. So this is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, so she is wounded, but she would do the like hallucinogenic thing to Hopper and Elle. Or
no, because Elle has to be in on it. She wouldn't project anything there. She would just play dead. Yeah. You're already shot. You just lay on the floor.
Just to be clear, because you haven't said it outright, are you calling bull on Elle's alive within the show? Or what are you? Because you've kind of talked around the point you're trying to.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to call you out. I just want come out with it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I
think that's fair.
I'm bull on it.
I'm fine with saying, no, she's dead and Mike is coping.
Yeah, I think that's fully what it is. I also think while
that's okay. Theory,
I mean, while the theory could work, I think the fact of the matter is there's still too many things about the interrupter ray, which I don't know if there's a proper name for it, but that's what I've been calling it, the jammer, the frequency jammer, whatever the heck it is. There's still too many inconsistencies there, even if she was across the street, because we established earlier in the show that whenever she's within the vicinity of the thing, it doesn't even have to be pointed at her. It's just in the vicinity. Like, she seems to be...
We established that in the same episode.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. So it's pretty clear that even if she was just in a storefront across the street, she wouldn't be interfacing with Mike. So at the same time, what that means is we have a plot hole that neither the theory nor the reality of what they showed us answered. Because if she really did sacrifice herself and she was standing in the upside down doorway, she couldn't project her thoughts. If the theory is correct and she's across the street, she couldn't project her thoughts. So either way, this doesn't make a
Theory
lot of sense.
meaning what the show suggests.
What the show suggests might have happened with her escaping. Neither of those make a whole lot of sense considering the presence of multiple, not just one, but multiple frequency jammers. So that to me just feels like kind of a plot hole either way.
Yeah.
And to me, it seems like less of a plot hole to just say, because otherwise it's two plot holes, right? So it's better to just say there's one plot hole, and that is she was able to communicate with him telepathically, and then she sacrificed herself. Because whether she lives or dies, I don't particularly care. I just think that the whole wishful thinking thing is just that. I think it's wishful thinking. On the other hand, talking about how that scene could have hit better, I think if we would have actually shown, and obviously if what they were intending was for us to question whether or not Elle was actually there with them or not, then you couldn't do this, right? So this is, again, a writing problem. But if we committed to that, what we could have done is actually shown her get out of the truck with the others, shown her get apprehended by the military, and show her be able to, through the rage and distress of all this happening after everything they've been through and her friends and family getting effectively taken away again, that she effectively just hulks out and overcomes the deflectors. Literally a shockwave goes back, just knocks everybody out. Not killed, but just knocks everybody down. We've seen her do it before. And then she just calmly walks into the upside down, and everyone just watches dumbfounded. And then the world collides and explodes. Like, you could have done that. And you wouldn't have even needed her to have like that moment with Mike in her mind. Like, Mike could have been one of the few who wasn't really knocked really far, or knocked out or whatever, and he could have come. Yeah, I know I'm kind of writing around a problem here, but spitballing, you see how that moment could have landed a little better.
I don't know. And I think
It's
regardless,
more deliberate choice.
I agree. I want to acknowledge it makes more sense of the problems,
right,
that kind of need to be explained, the genuine plot holes that I think exist. I think part of what sells it short too is you have the scene, and I'm going to come back to it, the emotional side of this. You have the scene with Hopper that's like, don't kill yourself. And then we don't quite 100% resolve that, which leaves it open. Fine. It's like, is everybody there? Yes, everybody's here. Okay, cool. We're all happy in the truck. We're all good. Elle is a jerk for doing what she does. Whether it's right or not, like, it emotionally, the arc doesn't quite arc. It's unexpected. It's a plot twist. But what a jerk move.
It's not even really a plot twist, because when they drive back through the gate, the military is going to be there. We've seen Linda Hamilton doing all their crap. So you're either going to have to deal with the military and kill them, which they never do. You never get the satisfaction. You killed Papa, you killed Vecna, you killed everybody.
You killed the goons. It doesn't.
You killed the goons, but you never take out Linda Hamilton. So you're either going to have to fight them when you get on the other side, or you're going to have to sacrifice yourself. And I think the thing is, I agree in the general sense of what you're talking about, like the emotional arc doesn't work for her. I do think it's still different though, because there's a difference between like, we're going to stay behind and blow up with the C4, as opposed to I'm just going to stay behind in the dimension and cease to exist. It's kind of like the difference of I'm going to kill myself with a gun versus I'm just going to stand in a dimension that's going to blip out of existence in about 2 seconds. Like there's a fine line there that I think is different. If 11 would have grabbed someone's gun and went, wow, like that would have been, you'd be like, whoa, you can't take that. But because she just went down with the ship, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
But either way, the moment didn't land. And both the theory and the alternate version of reality have massive plot holes in them. So you kind of pick whichever one you like better. I prefer to think that she probably just went out with everything else, because otherwise Mike's cope is she's just living alone in like the Netherlands somewhere under an assumed name. If that was the option, then surely, to your point, that's kind of a jerk move, because surely you could have written Mike. He could have found you. It's not like, the military thinks you're dead. They're not going to keep watching these people. If you can assume a different identity again for like the third time in your life, so can Mike. So it's not like it's really helping anybody to do this. So, but I feel like the emotions fall flat for a lot of reasons, not the least of which being everyone seems to just look stunned instead of sad, which is strange. Also, I think if they would have corrected course back in season 3 and actually just let Hopper have his emotional arc of sacrificing himself, and that beautiful handwritten note that we get at the end of season 3 to close us out, then you wouldn't have had that awkward moment in season 5 where Hopper's like, hey, don't kill yourself because, we all love you too much. Because now your father, your adopted father, will have gone out in a similar way. There's some nice equilibrium there. There's closure. You don't have that person to tell you, hey, don't do this. So that would have been better because Hopper was basically, his purpose in season 4 was nothing. He was a MacGuffin. He was useless. He needed to be rescued, right? Because he was in a Russian prison. And then in this season, anybody could have done what Hopper was doing. He didn't have some special skill or know-how. He was just a guy with a beard and some guns. So really, his usefulness ceased after season 3. So those are all the negatives that I have. I'll open the floor to any further negatives you have before we get to the positives.
That's all I got. That's all I got when it comes to negatives.
Okay, you want to lead us with the positives?
I think I was a big fan of the roof scene with like the older kids. That was fun. I liked that. That was a good time.
Except for the compositing. That's my last negative. Except for the compositing on the roof.
I feel like there's gonna be like 3 more negatives.
Yeah. The compositing was rough, but no, everything else that was a great scene.
I think it's kind of funny. This is mildly negative that like they all got new looks. And Nancy's like a city girl now. And Robin just turned into like the prettiest girl I've ever seen, which I think is like really funny.
I told you, she's been good looking since season 3.
It like my compliments to the chef that it was like
every misogynistic thing you can say, Andy, comparing women to a prepared meal.
No. It's like everyone's got this like new look. Even Steve's dressing nice.
Yeah.
And then and Robin's, who's like, it's kind of funny because like they make
she's wearing like a hippie blouse.
Yeah. Nancy's looking all like modern, like businesswoman, business casual, and Jonathan's got like a artsy look to him.
Weathered and artsy.
And yeah. And they made Robin just look
like she walked off the farm.
And 2 thumbs up. That's my positive.
I told you, man. Well, and it makes sense.
And it literally was like a conscious, like, wow.
Well, she's she's a good looking woman, and she's at an interesting intersection. Not that our audience is privy to our personal lives, and I'm not going to delve into this very deep, but all I'm going to say is she's at an interesting intersection, like on the Venn diagram of Santino's tastes and Andy's tastes. She's a perfect middle of that Venn diagram where she's kind of both our type, which is strange.
Yeah. Not a whole different types. Overlap.
Very little overlap. There's very little overlap.
Look, guys, there's very little overlap there.
And, Santino's got this thing going on. I got that thing. But in this case, they really...
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. The interesting thing to bring it to her character, she kind of does like...
So we're not just objectifying her.
She kind of does like a prairie home companion. The time jump is not negative, but it's kind of like, okay.
Leaves a lot of unanswered questions. No one got arrested. You're all federal criminals. You're all wanted for treason. You've killed government employees, army personnel.
Yeah.
There's not even a debriefing. They just up and leave town.
Yeah. It's almost too open-ended.
Yeah.
In that regard. But she does like a prairie home... My hog, Robin, does like this prairie home companion, like everything seemed to have changed, but maybe I'm the one who's changed thing. And it's like...
That's a little odd.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah,
we are still cliche. We can't not be negative. Have you listened to the show?
Yeah.
you
Very
expect that?
backhanded compliments.
What did what did you like? You seem to have stuff prepared that's extra positive.
Yeah, but you've got a whole thing of notes. So
We've worked through most of it.
okay.
There's not this is like observations from when I watched it. And it mostly was like, oh, look at that. Oh wow. Oh no. Oh god. I really liked that Vecna stayed bad. I made my
Yeah.
opinion quite clear that if they didn't do that, if they made him good, I was gonna riot. And that didn't happen. So
Yeah, there were a couple moments in this finale, in the season as a whole, that they handled well. Most of it they mishandled, but some of it they handled well. And Vecna being genuinely bad to the bone is one of those things they handled well. But so here's I'm gonna give the show a compliment while also being kind of passive aggressive because that's what we do. And so here's the thing. If you watched the last hour of the season finale of season 5 and none of the rest of season 5, it would be maybe, and this is a little bit of an oxymoron because it kind of relies on what you've seen, but the point is, if you could somehow just kind of synthesize that and just watch that last hour, it would be one of the best wrap-ups to anything ever. It hits all the emotional beats you'd ever want it to hit. It's incredibly bittersweet. It's very well shot. The very last scene mimics shot for shot the very opening scene of the first season, like to a T, with the exception of Max being there, and she, of course, wasn't in the original season. It is, it's very satisfying in its emotionality. It makes you kind of want to cry happy tears and also bittersweet, sad tears because this thing that has taken up 10 years and 5 seasons of everyone's lives is over, and endings are always very bittersweet. In fact, the only other ending I ever saw of a TV show or movie that was ever this emotional, while being ultimately positive, obviously not like depressing, but like positive, sad, melancholy, but happy, would have been the season finale of Monk. And that wasn't even sad for an hour straight, right? Like it wasn't emotional for an hour straight. It was only emotional and sad for like the last 5 minutes. There's like a closing song and that's it. This is a concentrated hour of just emotions. None of us would be proud to know that this many emotions were on screen. And so I guess what I'm getting at is, and we'll go into more detail of like all the things we like, but one final backhanded compliment. If you weren't paying attention, and the show kind of counts on this last hour erasing all the dumb that came before it because you're so emotionally invested. And what this last hour does is it keeps flashing back to other moments from earlier seasons that are better seasons and character arc moments from when they were younger and they flash back to them as kids. And they do
flashbacks to the same episode.
Yeah, which is not great. But like they do all this. And it is the most impressive marketing I've ever seen because you're infecting people's minds going, hey, remember this thing from earlier that you really liked and this character that you really liked, even though they were useless this season, but you really liked them before? Look at how far they've come. And it's kind of, in a weird way, I guess this might nullify what I'm trying to do. Isn't life kind of like that? Like at the end of your life, you're only really going to remember the good things. You're not going to remember all the dumb things that you did. So in that case, it kind of works. But like, it's so deceptive because it's really trying to get you to stay emotionally invested. So you'll watch the spinoff and you'll go back and rewatch better episodes and better seasons. And in a corporate way, that really sucks. But in a storytelling way, it's amazing because they're hitting so much concentrated emotion for an hour.
Well, and it's so funny that like, you know, we talked a bit about this beforehand and we really don't script these things out, folks, but it's really funny. We're on the same wavelength of when I skimmed through it again today, I didn't watch it all, but that last hour, 40 minutes, whatever it is, I went, you know what? It may be a little long, like a little overindulgent.
A little.
But man, is it good.
Yeah.
And in that last scene, I was like, no, that's, and it's kind of funny. I really was thinking this. funny to me that we're on the same page like this. I was like, take or leave everything else. And maybe like I would go as far to say like I may not even be as emotionally in for all the closure we did,
Right.
but take that last scene and like that's it. That's how you end the show. That's
Yeah.
great. And that's like it really is. Like and even her one redeeming quality maybe for you, Max's whole character being sarcastic so she can go, "Oh, like it's all going to end happy. I thought you were some great storyteller. This is
Right.
it." Like that self-aware moment
Mm-hmm.
is great. And I think, I do have a positive thing and we're here. I think Mike going off and becoming a writer is perfect. Like for this has all been Stand By Me, but monsters.
Right.
And so Mike's going to go become a writer.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's the Stephen King of the group.
yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I really genuinely like that. And I like that last scene. It's maybe a bit overindulgent with them putting their books back, but like that last scene is so good. And like to your point, and the last 40 minutes, all the closure is good and this is negative, in spite of the season.
Right. What a magic act that they pulled off. You tanked for like 2 straight seasons nearly.
You tanked in the same episode.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, with like the final battle
pulled out of a tailspin.
And it's like they spent all their time, and maybe this is what they did, writing that last 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh crap, we have to start shooting it. We got to write the rest of the
What's
season.
What's the easiest thing we can do? Bunch of Demogorgons, big sand spider, let's kill it in 5 minutes, let's be done. Like, we got to get to the emotions.
And like, yeah, they stuck the landing, which is...
They did. In spite of itself. So it's weird because when you say they stuck the landing, it makes it sound like everything worked. No, the last 50 minutes worked as immaculately as any show I've ever seen.
The last 50 minutes ended really good. And then it also, in spite of, even within itself, I think that's so interesting. I mean, I think as far as like character deaths and goodbyes, I'm thinking it's like, it might not see like, and I'm thinking of other better television. I'm thinking of like the X-Files and I don't know if the episode Jump the Shark is I think what it's called, when the lone gunmen die. Like that is heartstrings, hero's death. That's how you do that.
Right.
But I think like when it comes to like we were saying of like closure, I don't know of anything that does it like this either.
No.
Because you like I mean when you're wrapping something up like this, some things just end very well. But this kind of like has this epilogue. And I think that's what
Parks and Rec is similar in the sense that Parks and Rec is similar in the sense that it gave everybody a happy ending, and it's got like 15 endings because there are so many characters. But Parks and Rec is predominantly a comedy, and there's really nothing all that bittersweet about it other than its ending, which is, you get attached. It's 7 seasons worth of a really great show. But no other drama that I've seen, especially a supernatural drama, has that much staying power. Every shot works, every moment works, give or take. All the characters get a happy ending, and it's not so happy that it's ridiculous to believe, but it works for their characters. They move on. Steve ends up coaching Little League, which is super fitting. And, Mike's going to be a writer. And here's how badly Jonathan's character, here's another negative. Here's how badly his character fell off my radar for being useless through all of season 4 and most of season 5. I forgot that like cameras were his thing. Like he gets in trouble with Steve for taking pictures of them doing it with his camera in season 1 and like episode 3. And then when it's revealed in season 5's epilogue that like, oh, he goes off to like be a filmmaker at NYU or something, it's like, oh, and for us about a minute, I was confused because I'm like, that seems like a weird character trait to have. And I was like, oh, wait, no, he had cameras.
Yeah.
So there's that. But it's a really, 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 really well done ending. And it works in spite of itself. And it kind of sticks the landing so well that it kind of makes up for all the dumb crap that happened in both this season and season 4. And I was telling my dad about this the other day, like, well, the day after we watched all this. And tell me if you feel the same way about this. Season 4 and 5 are almost like mere opposites of each other. Like, on the whole, I enjoyed season 4 up till but not including the last 30 minutes of the last episode. And I enjoyed it more as a whole than I did all of season 5, except for the last 50 minutes of season 5. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost the
Yeah.
inverse. So if you ask me, well, which season do you like better? Because of the emotional payload at the end of season 5, we're all inclined to say season 5 is better than season 4. But if you really break it down, there are better character moments in season 4. There's better action in season 4. There are better creatures in season 4. Vecna's still interesting in season 4 and still mysterious. Yeah, there's a lot of farting around and characters are like spending half the season just driving across America to get to each other, but there's actually a lot more that happens that's substantive in season 4 versus season 5. But
Yeah.
season 4 screws up the landing so badly because they kill Max and then have Elle resurrect her through her mind from like Las Vegas or something. And it's so stupid. And then the ground cracks open and Hawkins is like, there's smoke billowing out of the upside down and they just end. And it's so stupid that it kind of undoes the good of everything else that was the season. And season 5 kind of does the opposite. It rights the ship. It
I
does
mean, I think I
take out
like
their mistake. And then
some of the ending of season 4 because I like, oh crap, we didn't win endings to things.
sure,
And
that's
I
not
think
even
that's what
ending of
that is
beef, but
like. So I think I like the smoke's billowing out and now stuff's coming for Hawkins that we then like kind of left sitting for
yeah.
season 5.
Well, we put some metal plates over it.
Yeah.
We fixed that.
Done.
Done.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the ending of the show is pretty good. I think season 5 all in all
It's one of the worst.
it didn't do it for me.
No. Like because I
It's
think
not poorly produced before you guys start yelling at me.
you 1.5
Not,
listeners.
yeah, it's not poorly produced. It's not it's pretty poorly written at times. It's an
What are you gonna
interesting
do?
concept.
Yeah.
But to be honest, and I was going to say this earlier,
Because you've been lying this entire time.
let me
Be honest
retcon-
now.
Let me retcon everything I
Yeah.
said. I think if I was to describe at least the last like 4 episodes
Mhm.
in a word, it's convoluted.
That's the entire season. It's
Yeah.
convoluted.
And for some people that does it for them. I'm
Mm.
kind of convinced at this point, and allow me to insult you if you disagree with me. For some people, all they need is convoluted. And we've talked about how like
I have a friend who really likes convoluted.
it's like, and all you need is like a thing going on here, and then a thing going on here, and then a thing going on here, and then people are mad at each other. Like
Right.
all you kind of need is convoluted. Like I forgot the exposition dump, and I was just kind of confused about episode 8, which is like my incompetence, but also not much is happening. So
Right.
it's like, but it's convoluted because we're going from the upside down to Max's mind to Vecna's mind
Mm.
to get the kids through Dimension X. It's just convoluted.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's not written well. It's convoluted. So I think like it emotionally in some ways does right the ship.
Mhm. Oh, the ending again. The
gives
ending
us-
kind of
and
does it.
gives us true closure. It
Mhm.
doesn't feel like, oh, well, here's an ending. It's like,
Right.
no, this is what's right. I don't think anything felt wrong.
No.
I mean, the story about 11, Mike's story about 11, kind of does feel like how he's seeing the situation,
Right.
and not how the show is telling us what happened.
Kind of.
And I think it's all right, but like kind of doesn't escape it being convoluted.
Right.
The ending is good though.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the ending. And look, I'll say it now. I wrote it in my notes, and I'll say it now. Netflix, I know you're listening, even though we've threatened to urinate on you several
Countless
times.
times.
But with a live action spinoff, if you're gonna do anything, I would like a Dustin and Steve road movie.
And Robin.
And Robin.
And Robin.
Let's put Robin in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a road movie, and it has nothing supernatural going on in the whole thing. I literally just want them like going camping, or like going camping, or hear me out. We have a pitch for a Creature from Black Lake remake that I think we could kind of workshop.
Wow,
into
you're reaching now.
This, and they encounter a Bigfoot like creature. That's the furthest to supernatural I get. I just want a buddy film with them, a road movie. I just want that, and that's it. I don't need any. This is Papa. This is Vecna. This is 11. I don't want none of that. I don't even want more about Hawkins than like, how's the little league team? Good. Yeah. How's your mom? In the first 10 minutes.
Say hi to your mother for me.
That's all I want. That's what I would like. And if you give me more conspiracy theory, they're making super babies, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a little bad.
Swat. I'm going to be disappointed. I ain't watching that. I'm not even doing it. Elmo doesn't care. Elmo doesn't care. I don't care about supernatural.
Special guest, Elmo ladies and gentlemen.
I agree with that. See, actually, what's funny is my pitch after season 4 was a Dustin, Steve, and Robin spinoff, but like almost a sitcom with them working at like the family video and just nothing supernatural happening. Like that was kind of my pitch. Not quite the road movie, but similar. I think in conclusion, I think what we have is a failure to communicate. No, I think what we have is a really rocky season that is anchored by an incredibly well put together and well written epilogue. And an epilogue not just for a season, but for a show. And so I think this is where I want to kind of lead out, which is because I've been thinking about this a lot. I think on the last time we talked about this, I ranked my episode or my seasons of Stranger Things. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And for me, it was like season 1 was the best, then season 3, and then season 4, season 5, and season 2. I've reappraised season 2. As dumb as season 2 is, there are more character moments, more fun, more new and interesting things, and more stuff that works in season 2 than in any 4 episodes of season 5. So I think honestly, the rating objectively, like if we take the last 50 minutes off of season 5, it would be season 1, season 3, season 2, season 4, season 5 dead last as the worst season. But here's the caveat, and I want to see if you agree with this. You can give me your rating because I'll keep this short. If you take the series as a whole and then you introduce that final coda, you introduce that last hour, it as a whole is the best show that Netflix ever has or ever will produce. I challenge, because the spinoffs can't possibly be that good. And it succeeds in spite of its shortcomings. It is more than the sum of its parts, because Stranger Things is just Firestarter and Stand By Me and all the Stephen King novels and all the supernatural things put together, but it remixes them in just a way and does enough with the characters to make it really cool. It's the most original, new, fresh thing this millennium since basically Star Wars. I can't think of too many other. It's kind of this generation Star Wars. When you think about it, like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Ain't anything else that has gone on this long, has this much influence on culture, merchandising, vernacular. I can't think of anything else. So it's kind of our Star Wars. It's a big deal. And I think in that case, it earns its stripes. It earns its 5 stars. It earns it. So Your thoughts?
I mean, I agree. I think it is, for the vast majority of the show, worth the hype.
Oh yeah.
I think there's no denying it. And season 2 may have mixed feelings, but I think it didn't lose. I'm using so much like kid lingo. It didn't lose the plot, and by that I mean like it continued the vibe.
Yeah, the wheels didn't fall off as much as they did in season 5.
Yeah. So I think season 5 gives us so much perspective on the show in a really interesting way. So I agree with you. I mean, I haven't seen a ton of TV, so I like, especially modern TV.
Thus this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like I haven't seen much, period. So like, it's hard for me to make any broad statement and feel fair about it.
Right.
But more so than any Marvel movie thing, superhero movie thing,
By a long shot.
this show works.
Oh yeah.
So well.
And even the reveal, as much as I really don't care about origin stories, the reveal with Vecna worked in this season. I was upset in season 4 when they're like, it's just a dude, because I was like, why did just a dude go into the Upside Down and become king of the Upside Down? But once you figure out what's going on, it makes more sense. So I can accept that. And the shot of, what the Upside Down is from the outside, this kind of wormhole dimension between worlds, as much as that's higher concept than I usually care to go, it is cool. And I've never seen that done before either. Do I think it was always their plan to do that? No. I definitely think that they just kind of started going back and finding interesting ways to write and connect threads. And so kudos to them. But yeah, that was cool too. That was very cool.
Yeah. So I think the show's pretty, I mean, all in all, the show is really good. And it's worth being this kind of cultural touchstone. It's not just, it wasn't, I don't know, things in the category of like pop culture fads have faded in the time that that Stranger Things has survived. I don't know what I was talking about there for a second, but in the way that Stranger Things has persisted, other things have not.
Well, when you think like how much time was between seasons since season 2, like season 1 and season 2 came out back to back, a year apart. And then after that, it's been 3 years apart for every season. It was 2 years, 2017 and 2019 for season 3. And after season 3, it was 3 years. And after that, it was 3 more years. So usually if you make that much time go by, fans kind of go away. They kind of lose interest. Other TV shows, when it was network programming, would come out every week, every year consistently. And so you could build that momentum. So like you said, it's pretty miraculous that it's had the staying power it has, which is a testament to how good it is. Flaws and all, it's really excellent. So is this the point in the show where we give the show as a whole our rating, or the season and then the show? I feel like we kind of did that, but if we want to put a number,
I mean, if you want to, we haven't given the number to the season. I think as a whole, we can give a number to the season. If you want to give a number to the show, we can.
Okay.
Honestly, I should have been prepared to do either, and I'm really not. So if you want to,
I'm putting you on the spot now.
So I think this season,
on a scale of 1 to 10,
on a scale of 1 to 10, with including the epilogue, the coda.
Yeah, that does sway things.
is
I mean, if you include the coda, it's kind of a 10. So if you take the coda off,
I don't think it's a 10 with the coda. I think the coda on its own is like a solid 7. I don't think it's anywhere near. I think
the coda's a 10. Yeah.
I mean, if you take it on its own, here's the thing: is like, what do you mean by taking it on its own? You take it on its own, connected to the show,
right?
Like we've set this up, kind of like with 4 and a vague memory of season 5.
Yeah, it's a home run.
I think it's all right, but I think it in no way it helps the season as a whole, but I don't think it redeems the season as a whole. So, I mean, I'd have to give the show this season like a 6.
Okay,
it kind of just lands as like good.
And then what about show overall?
I think the show as a
series.
whole, I have the memory of a guinea pig. But I would say, keeping everything in mind, meaning cultural impact, and because it's good,
spiritually,
yeah,
dramatically, ecumenically, institutional,
yes, especially ecumenically. I think the show on its as a whole is like an 8, and I think it's weighted early. I think it's probably weighted first 3 seasons, right? But it's an 8.5. I don't think it's anywhere. We can't spend, maybe like this is going to be my little like shaking you through Zoom. We can't spend 5 to 10 minutes, however long we did, debating the like what even the plot of the ending and final sacrifice of our main character even really meant, and say like it's perfect. That's kind of what I'm trying to spit out. Yeah, especially with this season. Like the emotional heart of this season is confusing. So it's that coda, that epilogue is good in spite of what immediately precedes it.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
And all the plot holes that then even are around the epilogue, which is like, how come they're not in federal prison? Like all these things that aren't explained. I think, as like you said, to this series, as I spit that out, the series, it works pretty well. But like within what we just watched, it's kind of like, wait, kind of leaning in and going, but wait, what? For at least the first 10 minutes of it.
Yeah, until the emotions take over and you kind of
lean back. I'd say like once we get past the scene with Hopper and Mike, which is like, I kind of like,
once we get past the graduation.
Yeah, and then we get past the graduation and we're like, okay. But yeah, so the show as a whole is like an 8, which is a pretty high rating for me on this show.
Okay.
And this season is a 6, I think.
So I'd put this season at like 5. It's pretty rocky. But like you said, if you in spite of the coda, like if you take that last episode off, it's like a 4. It's a pretty garbage season. But you put that last episode in it and the emotional impact it has, it brings it up. So maybe it's a 5, maybe it's a 5.5. It is definitely, I have reappraised my previous thoughts on other seasons, and I think this dethrones season 2 as the worst season in my opinion. So I would say this is like a 5 or 5.5. However, the series as a whole, while not perfect, see, here's the thing. If you just took seasons 1 through 3, and that was all Stranger Things was, I'd say that's like a 9.5 or like a 9.2.
Well, yeah, we take 1 through 3.
Yeah.
I think, and we didn't get to this last part, but I'd say 1 through 3, for so many reasons, for all the reasons we typically say, is like really good. I'd say like 8.5, 9, and has my heart.
Easily. Yeah.
Like, easy. Because no, I'm not holding anything back. I'd say, yeah, boom.
I mean, season 1, if I want to be accurate, season 1 is a 10. There's literally nothing I would change other than I wish they had a little more money to spend so that the CG looked a little better. But that doesn't really even bother me. So that's a 10. Then season 2 is like a 7 or a 6. It's not great. We'll say it's a 6. Season 3 is like a 9. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. Season 4 is maybe a 7, and then season 5 is like a 5. That comes up to 37. If you divide that by 5, our average is a 7.4 for the series overall. However, I think that's a little low when you take into account the highs that come from those seasons, including the final epilogue that doesn't just end season 5, but ends the whole series. So I'd be willing to give it as a series like an 8.5 or even an 8.8. If you take into account how culturally significant it is, that would make it like a 9, but it's not perfect. So 8.8 on the generous side, it's really good.
Yeah.
It also, like, that's the problem. Like, when it's really good, it's really good, and when it's bad, it's really bad. Like, there are no in-betweens. And as a series as a whole, it definitely has my heart. Season 5 does not. Season 4 does not. And season 2 really doesn't. But season 1 and 3 have my heart in spades. Like, it can have all the hearts if I had multiple. All 15 of my hearts.
Yeah. And I agree. I think the show has my heart because, I mean, it's one of those things that it's almost unavoidable that if you're doing a sci-fi timepiece, you're emulating from 80s, 90s. You're emulating a little tiny bit of Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
Unavoidably at this point. So, like, I mean,
even though Stranger Things did come out and blow a script I wrote in 2014 out of the water, it's fine. It wasn't as good as Stranger Things, so I'm willing to take that. I'll take that defeat. But just saying, Duffer Brothers, you really screwed me, because if my script would have come out in 2015, people would have still forgotten about it and went with Stranger Things. But at least I would have been able to get my punch in. So
yeah,
whatever. Just saying.
Well, I think is that it? Is that it? Is that all we got?
It better be. This is the longest episode I think we ever had.
Yeah.
It was like a 2-hour episode.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. That's enough of that.
Sticking around, guys. Like, comment, share, and hopefully they don't ruin it with a spinoff.
They will, but at least we'll have the original. If you don't watch the spinoff, they can't ruin it.
True. What if they pull a Frasier and it's great? It's better than the original.
Well,
somehow.
We're not saying that the new Frasier spinoff is better than the original Frasier, are we?
No, I meant like Frasier as a spinoff from Cheers.
Oh, Frasier as a spinoff from Cheers. Yeah, well, but that rarely happens, and I kind of doubt it. Because now the Upside Down is well established. There's no novelty to it. We were attached to the characters, not the universe. So
they're going to go to space. They're going to go to space.
They're going to probably go back to the 1940s and deal with that crap, and I'm not going to care. So it won't be anything. I don't know. That's my prediction. Won't be anything.
Yeah.
Send us a like. Send us a subscribe. Send us a box of roses in the mail. All this talking gave me a headache.
Well, that's all we got, folks.
All we got.
Thanks for listening.
Everybody, bye.